as I was clarifying, in Hebrews chapter 9, in reading it reads, "Then verily the first covenant had also ordinances of divine service and a worldly sanctuary. For there was a tabernacle, a large tent made, the first, wherein was the candlestick, the first part of the tabernacle. There was the candlestick in there, and the table, and the showbread, which is called, that first part called the sanctuary. And after the second veil, another curtain has to come into the tent, and coming through the veil, the curtain into the tent. Then there was another curtain separating the tent as two parts. After the second veil is the part that's called the holiest of all. Verse 4, which had the golden censer and the ark of the covenant overlaid round about with gold, wherein was the golden pot that had manna and Aaron's rod that budded, and the tables of the covenant inside the ark also. Inside the ark of the covenant, the tables of what had the Ten Commandments wrote on them. 2 tables of stone had the Ten Commandments wrote on them. And over it the cherubims on top of the mercy seat, the cherubims of glory on top of the mercy seat. All this represented, let me just kind of deal with the point concerning the cherubims. These cherubims on the top of the ark relate to the cherubims that were at the east end of the Garden of Eden. They were not there just for beautification or there for adornment. These cherubims on the ark, just like those at the end of the Garden of Eden, was to prevent man from getting to the tree of life. That is, after he had sinned and the knowledge of good and evil had showed his nature to be sinful, he become a part of their awareness, right and wrong, become part of their awareness, condemn their nature as to be sin nature. If they partook of the tree of life, Elohim said that they would live forever, live onward. So he put cherubims at the east end of the garden to prevent the way of the tree of life. These cherubims on the ark likewise, notice cherubims in both places. These cherubims on the ark were also not for adornment or beautification. They were saying, you ain't worthy to man. It's a condemnation to you. The covenant inside this ark condemns you, relating to the knowledge of good and evil, because you can understand these 10 commandments by the knowledge of good and evil that is hereditarily passed down to man. It develops in the child, and as a child develops. Praise Elohim. Yes, so it's saying that these cherubims on the ark were there for representing that you ain't worthy to enter into Elohim's presence or the way of life. You're condemned by this covenant. As I had stated that showing the judgment, how that 50,070 people were killed, Elohim killed that, because people looked into the ark at the time the ark was taken and returned, and they looked inside the ark of the covenant. And Elohim killed 50,007. Understand that cherubim was not just there for beautification. They were saying to man, you ain't worthy, because the covenant itself condemns you. You know, when it says here about through the Messiah's covenant, the new and living way of the Holy Spirit, that you can enter into the whole, boldly enter into the holiest, this represents something, because Aaron can only go into the holiest of holies once a year. Now we can enter into the true holiest and before Elohim in heaven by the Holy Spirit. This is an astound. It's showing the consecrating of the way. But before he give this way, before the Messiah gave this way, he had to die instead of man dying for the shortcoming of the 10 Commandments and the law. Die instead of man's sin nature dying. It's man nature be substituted as dead by him before he could give this new